how do you start this story? Where do you begin?
Well, we're making a video because it can't all be about baby cows, right?
Can't always be about baby
Can't
cows.
always be the highlight reel. No, we thought we'd make a video because there's a lot of people that keep asking, so what were the health issues that you had?
Like out, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I don't really know how to start it.
I don't know
though.
how to start it either. And that's what I meant it. Like, how do you start telling a story like this, you know?
Yeah. It's hard because I'm on the other side now.
Like, a week on the other side.
But it's so different that I almost can't even relate to going back to where we were.
Yeah.
Different.
But yet, when you start talking about it, all those emotions start up again, and you kind of start reliving being there to some degree.
Yeah, which is
you know?
why I haven't wanted to talk about it, because even when it was happening, or even when I was in the hospital, we really didn't communicate with anyone. And it's not that we didn't want to. For one, we had no time really to do anything but take care of what needed to be done in the moment.
Right.
And then for two, even talking about it made it worse, if that makes sense. But I think we wanted to make this video because, you know, when you're doing a channel, you know, about happiness, and we just didn't want it to always be the highlight reel. I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't always act like everything's positive whenever, you know, even when you're having a hard time. Now,
Yeah.
there's being positive and taking the good out of anything life throws at you, and that's real. But the fact that, you know, you can't act like life doesn't throw rough stuff at you, because it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I post a lot of positive stuff, and we talk about a lot of happiness and positive things. And I have people tell me that I've uplifted them on a bad day or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I also have had people say, well, how are you so happy all the time? You know, because they see those posts and stuff, and like, I'm struggling with this, but how are you able to be happy all the time? And first thing I say is, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when I post those quotes, they're for myself just as much as anyone else, that anyone else is getting something out of that. I mean, happiness is something, and contentment is something I'm working on daily.
Well, and like monitoring and working on your vibration is only works. Yeah, happiness only works if you're doing it for yourself to raise your vibration. Then other people can get something out of it. I can go on there and be a sad, miserable bastard and post positive quotes all day long, and it's not going to do a damn thing, you know, for anybody, because it's inauthentic, you know.
Yeah. So all that's besides the point.
Not really.
My heart goes out to anyone who has, you know, had difficulty with the child. I'd rather take the health stuff on myself any day. So we count our blessings that we had that, but this has definitely been, you know, earth-shattering. It's taken a lot out of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have to kind of rebuild in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep repeating the story because it takes me back there, and I'm starting to get positive momentum. I want to move forward. And so rather than tell this story so many different times, we thought, why don't we just make a video? So we're going to tell the story, get it out there, and then when someone asks, I'll have a video to be like, here's the story, you know. Thank you for your concern. But with all that being said, like, I do want to thank everyone for their love and their support.
Absolutely.
Especially, I mentioned it in a Facebook post, but Ben Heegard with his son Ethan, like, we could not have gotten through this without them.
Absolutely
I mean,
true.
that's really, when people say, well, how did you get through it? That's really what happened, is that they not only put us up in an awesome location, you know, because we dove into all of this with our new RV lifestyle, so we kind of took a lot on, you know, new baby, RV that we hit a snowstorm, as you saw, all the stuff that came with it.
Yeah. Snowstorm, then a
learning,
flood. I don't even think they have soft footage of the flood or the forest fire. I know it sounds like Zach's making shit up, and I'm not. This is all really happened.
And I didn't
even have time to get footage of any of it because we were too busy surviving.
basically really healthy pregnancy. I had a little bit of back pain through it, but not much. I mean, great pregnancy, super easy. And we had to have a C-section. This was my first C-section.
Unplanned.
Unplanned. She was, what do they call it?
Sunny side up.
Sunny side up.
And her head was like cocked the wrong way.
Yeah, so she was kind of stuck in there, and that at the time seemed like the safest method to move forward. So
well, her vitals started dropping because Tara was in labor for a long time, and Eva's vitals started dropping. So it felt like it was the right.
And
thing to do.
that was really scary. But for the most part, I feel like I recovered pretty well from the C-section. Like, you know, of course, that was so long ago now, and so much has happened. Because actually, at the time, I felt like that was brutal because I was pretty much bedridden with that, and could barely walk. I could walk, but not more than like a shuffle step, you know.
Right.
So I started setting goals, like, okay, I'll just get out and do one little loop because I was going stir crazy.
Well, before that, you were like, I'm going to make it to the bathroom. You know what I mean? I mean, that's.
I didn't want to say that part,
but no, seriously, I'm going to walk down the hall.
Yeah. But then I would slowly build up. Okay, I'm going to do 2 laps in a day, and then 3. And it's funny because all this other stuff that hit later made that seem like so insignificant. But now when I'm thinking about that was really hard too.
It was insane.
Yeah. And that's the thing when you have surgery like that and then you have an infant, so you're not sleeping. So it's hard to heal. But we were healing really well and celebrating that we were moving forward. And then I thought I just had clogged milk ducts from nursing. Not a big deal. And you okay? You need daddy's shoulder? And I kept checking in with the doctors, like, is this normal? And all my symptoms were normal. They just said, you know, this could turn into mastitis. And I even reached out, you know, on Facebook to other people, like, is this normal? You know, yeah, it's normal. Just keep working it out. If you have a fever, then come in. Well, I never really got a fever. Anyway, so this went on for, what, a week? Was it longer than that?
Longer than a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
And you were in brutal pain this entire time.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. It was very painful, but everyone reassured me that it's a painful thing, you know, and it's pretty common. And I reached my breaking point with that too, because I was trying everything that they said to clear, you know, that. And it just felt like a full-time job, taking care of her and then trying to, you know, fix this. And we thought it was getting better. It seemed to be getting better. But basically there was this one lump that was just super massive and it wasn't getting better. And it just basically started leaking like a liquid substance out the top. And that's when we're like, okay, this is not normal. We need to go in.
You mean it? Yeah, it was like a pus boil that cracked the skin on her sternum, you know. I mean, you got to be honest.
I was trying not to be so gross. Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of like gross talking about pus coming out of your system.
Well, you know, you want people to know everyone wants to know what happened. You got to be honest, you know. It's like, well, why was this so bad, you know?
Okay, so but I still was like, we got this. So we made an appointment to see my doctor, and she took one look at it, and she said, this is the worst breast abscess I've ever seen. So we went to the emergency room, and same sort of situation where a surgeon came in and said this is pretty serious. And so they actually put me in the operating room, within the hour, which was crazy because they didn't even we were shocked by that because you weren't even back from taking Autumn to get a snack and they were wheeling me off to the operating room. I had to be like, no, wait, I need to say goodbye to my husband. You know, I've never been operated on like that. So that was scary.
Well, actually you had 3 weeks prior.
Yeah, but I don't know. This felt different, I guess.
Yeah.
I wasn't wheeled off without you.
Well, you weren't on as many narcotics at that moment.
The second time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time you were kind of wheeled off and they stuck me in a corner and
I don't
You
know.
don't remember.
A lot of it's a blur too, because
And
you know when
we're
you,
glossing over all kinds of
then,
horrifying
okay,
details.
you tell it. Then.
I don't want to go into the details.
Well,
It's horrifying stuff, and I'm just saying that we're not even scratching the surface of how horrible this really was, and we're still being fairly graphic.
Okay, what else happened?
What after the surgery?
Yeah.
They found out it was a MRSA infection that she probably got at the hospital during the C-section.
Which is not uncommon.
Right.
Yeah, so it turns out I was fighting MRSA the whole time, probably since the C-section, and that's why it wasn't necessarily clogged milk ducts. It was that I was fighting MRSA, and you know, maybe even defeated it for the most part, which is why I didn't really get the fever like it usually causes. But because that part of those white blood cells, they say, pools into that area, and that's what makes the abscess. And it does that to protect the rest of the body, so it doesn't spread. Because come to find out, I've been researching it now, where MRSA can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So we're lucky that we got out as easy as we did on that. Excuse me. We're back. And with that, we're back. Okay. We're back. We're going to condense this because we basically had a C-section, had MRSA virus, had mastitis of the breast abscess, 2 surgeries, wound vac machine. I came out of surgery crying. So my surgeon asked if I was depressed. I said yes. So then they wanted to treat me for postpartum depression with the antidepressants. I decided not to do that because I really felt like that was fatigue and chronic pain. But then the liquid antibiotics for 5 days in the hospital, then the pill form antibiotics made me super sick. I was allergic to those. Broke out in a rash all over my body. I had just horrible side effects, you know, nausea and just body aches, and I pretty much was just in constant pain. And then having the wound vac machine, having to have that change, they had to pull the sponge out of the wound every couple days, and it was absolutely excruciating. So, because this was pretty much 8 weeks of our life of just being knocked down physically, and then Zach being knocked down just from going.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yeah. After reading your Facebook post, I don't think you're fine.
I'm doing fine.
But I'm hoping we're on the other side. I'm hesitant to say that because with the C-section, we were like, all right, you know. Yes, I got off. I was able to get off all the pain medication. I no longer need the antibiotic. That's all out of my system. So as these things started to come out, the wound vac machine started to come out, I started to get stronger and stronger. So we just got hit by too many things, you know, and it just really wiped us out. So I have even more appreciation for health and rebuilding it. And I have such a huge empathy for anyone dealing with, you know, pain, chronic pain, sickness, just challenging times. I mean, it's hard to stay positive when you don't feel good, you know. But that's what's been going on. So I hope that covers it. And again, thank you everyone for showing your love and support and your concern. And I hope that answers all the questions of what's been happening.
Look here, life. You think you can break this pony? I don't think so.
It did break me, I'm not gonna lie.
I bucked for both of us.
I definitely had some pity,
I'll do it again.
Some pity party woe is me days. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to buck harder.
But the first thing I did when I felt better is I had a mommy Autumn day, because poor Autumn, you know, was not used to not having mommy, and she really didn't have me available. Mommy Autumn day. She didn't have me available for a long time, so. But things are getting back. Oh, I love you. You want to say bye?
Bye bye.